Hey guys, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great. Christmas is getting closer and closer, and that means companies are sending gifts our way. So as usual, I'm Mysticle, and in today's video, I'm bringing you a recap of the last few days of XR news, with that and a whole lot more. So let's get right into it. So first things first, the biggest headliner of today, you are getting a free performance boost on your Quest 2, as the developers over at Meta have worked hard to squeeze even more performance out of the Quest 2. This should be noticeable in games and other apps. Let me read you the tweet. Happy to finally share that we've managed to upclock the Quest 2 GPU for improved performance and graphics, with no changes necessary to existing software. Great work by our engineering teams to unlock more power for the Quest 2 chipset. So this is going to be available to you no matter where you are. And not even that, the developers don't even have to implement anything. This is going to instantly start working on every single Quest device as soon as you get the update. To read you a bit more from the Oculus developer blog, oh my gosh, it's still called the Oculus developer blog. Boosting GPU frequency for better app performance on Meta Quest 2. Using the full potential of the Meta Quest device resources helps ensure the highest quality content and best overall experience for users. As a result, optimizing app performance to take into account the amount of GPU available is something familiar to Meta Quest developers. We're continuing to work on ways to improve developer tools and experiences, including finding ways to help you improve pixel quality and app performance. And today we're excited to announce that you now have more GPU compute power to work on Meta Quest 2 devices, 7% more to be exact. All developers can now start taking advantage of the new 525 MHz GPU frequency, which went up from 490 MHz today. No integration or coding is needed to start reaping the benefits of this improvement. The dynamic clocking system will automatically increase the frequency as it detects that your app would benefit from it. However, on the current V47 OS build, either a DOF/dawn or sleep cycle, clicking the power button twice is needed before the added GPU frequency is granted to the device. Starting with V49, the additional computing power will be available immediately and will not require additional steps after firing up your headset. That's really interesting. Having to press that power button twice in order to give your device more power, that's something I've never heard of. That's a really interesting little thing. But V49 will remove all that and it will be instantly accessible by everyone. But it's just if you're on V47, you're gonna have to double click that power button. That's really, really interesting. But anyway, I'm super happy with that. And while 7% might not seem like a lot, every little bit of performance helps on these standalone devices where you need as much power as possible. So I'm super happy with that, and that's a pretty damn nice Christmas gift. Oh, here's another Christmas gift, even though this one isn't new. It's just, it was only brought to my attention now, and judging by the amount of people that know about it, it's not much. But you can mod games directly on your Quest. No PC or phone. And no, I don't mean you need to use a phone to sideload to your Quest and then you can run off of it. No. You can do everything directly on the Quest using an app available through App Lab, which is called Mobile VR Station. Now, I haven't played around with this yet. It was just brought to my attention, so I'm not going to speak on how well it works or if it works or anything like that. I will have a tutorial video on it once I do get it all working, but apparently this is the rewrite of Mobile VR Station, which was based on the successful iOS and Android versions, but reimagined to work in VR. The player has been built from the ground up to display 2D and 3D content on various projections, such as plane, spherical, dome, full dome, curved, and EAC. The player will continue in its freemium tradition and allows you to try all the features before buying. So apparently this is a buy app, even though it says it's free. I'm not entirely certain how it works again. I haven't played around with it yet, but it is apparently a file manager that allows you to mod games such as Blade and Sorcery and other titles directly there from inside this app. It's got pretty damn nice reviews, sitting at 4.2 stars out of 5 with 190 ratings and 97 reviews. So I'd say, in case you're interested in modding games such as Blade and Sorcery without a computer or phone, check out the app. I'll leave a link for it down below, and that'll link you to App Lab. So that's really interesting. I'm excited to try this one out and hopefully bring you guys a review on it pretty damn soon. Thank you to everybody who brought this to my attention. Hopefully it'll help out a lot of people and let them mod their titles without needing a phone or computer. Meta's within acquisition. This thing seems to be absolutely everywhere recently, but Meta isn't expecting their within acquisition to proceed until February. According to a new court report, Meta is unlikely to close its acquisition deal of Within until February. Having announced plans to acquire the Supernatural developer last year, Meta faced an uphill battle ever since due to the antitrust probe from the Federal Trade Commission, while the FTC later filed a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction, which forced Meta to keep the deal open until December 31st, 2022. Reuters confirmed through a new court filing that it's been extended to January 31st, 2023. However, depending on the ruling date, this could be dropped sooner. So yeah, the Meta within acquisition saga seems to continue. I do wonder what is going to come of this. Yeah, let's move on to some actually happy stuff. Free games. Everyone likes free games, right? It's just like we like free updates. We like free games. Blaston is now free, and I don't know how I missed this, but I didn't bring this to people when I should have. This has been like a thing since December 15th. Blaston, the VR multiplayer shooter from Resolution Games, is now free to play as of today's update. Joining Bait and Ultimex in Resolution's growing library of free-to-play VR games, Blaston is taking a similar approach to Rocket League's free-to-play Switch. Anyone who bought the game before December 15th will receive the Golden Gratitude Pack, which contains 2 exclusive skins and in-game currency. Announced during Resolution Games' showcase, releasing this outline for today's update. Starting in 2023, Blaston will be coming to the Pico Neo 3 Link and the Pico 4, in addition to Blaston's shift to free-to-play. Today's update brings a number of additions and upgrades, new weapon attachments, and skins. In case you guys are interested in checking out the full article, I'll leave a link to it down below. But talking about free games, you know what else is free to play now? HyperDash. Ever since yesterday, the time has come. HyperDash is now free to play on Quest and Steam. Gather your friends to dash, sprint, shoot, and railgrind your way to victory in a variety of games like Payload, CTF, Ball, Deathmatch, and many more. Free of charge. Merry Christmas. Everyone who has bought the game before will be reimbursed the purchase price in-game credits to spend in the store. The free-to-play update on the Pico and Vive will follow ASAP. So there you go. 2 games that I actually purchased in the past and really enjoyed playing are now free to play. So in case you guys want to join that community of people playing these games, you're now free to do so. Let's move on to the next piece of news. Here's something interesting. More and more movies and companies are using VR in order to expand their kind of working environment. And this isn't anything new. Many movies have used VR in order to create sketches and create sets in the past, but apparently so did Avatar: The Way of the Water, which used Gravity Sketch in its set design. Gravity Sketch, the VR art creation platform, was used in the environmental and set design of Avatar: The Way of the Water. First released in 2017, Gravity Sketch is a creative toolset available on the Meta Quest, Rift, and Steam VR. Used for a wide range of 3D creative tasks, we've now learned how James Cameron's Avatar sequel utilizes it, thanks to a new Instagram post. So yeah, I guess it's just interesting seeing companies and people moving on to using VR in these creative applications and truly utilizing its power, as you can put yourself there in the set and you can truly look around, see what works, see what doesn't, and you can utilize that creative potential to its fullest. So I think that's really interesting, and I do want to see more companies and movies utilizing this in the future. I don't know, I just find it really cool when people finally realize that VR is the way to go in many of these applications. It just seems to work. Half-Dive. You guys remember that Kickstarter that was claiming to create a headset that was like you wear it laying down and it would have all sorts of weird technologies that would immerse you into the game much more than anything else? And it was inspired by, of course, Full Dive. DiverX was the startup that started that. And the Japan-based startup, known for pitching its ambitious VR headset earlier this year, is at it again, this time with a pair of VR gloves that incorporates a membrane capable of flexing and compressing to replicate the sensation of touch. The original Half-Dive headset campaign on Kickstarter managed to secure enough cash to be considered a fully funded campaign back in January of 2022, although the team decided to cancel the campaign and return the funds to its backers. In the end, the Sword Art Online inspired headset, which allows you to play whilst laying down, was deemed too niche of a product to deliver on such a small scale. Now the startup is back at it again with another Kickstarter, albeit with a ostensibly wider appeal. Its contact glove not only tracks each finger and includes Steam VR tracking mounts for positional tracking, but also it allows for button input emulation, so you never have to pick up a controller during gameplay. Ultimately, its pro feature on higher end models boasts haptic feedback thanks to flexible membranes that contract and expand to replicate touch on the user's fingertips. Now that sounds really cool. I've wanted VR gloves for the longest time. We've made DIY haptic gloves. I got to try out Contact CI's haptic gloves during VR days, and they were amazing. Like, they were a lot of fun to play around with, and I would truly want to see something that consumers can get that reaches that kind of level. And if DiverX can deliver, then I am more than happy to buy their product. But I guess we will just have to wait and see for that. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And do tell me what you think about all the topics we discussed today down in the comments section below. But yeah, if you guys liked it, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this button works too, but let me know why down below. Join the Discord, join the Reddit. I want to see you posting your spicy memes on there. Thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys seriously help me out a ton. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified of extra content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.